Hello, welcome back to another video for the Triumph TR7 to be. Now today we're inside the cockpit. Now the roof is up. I haven't bothered putting the roof down since my successful trip coming back from the Bicester Scramble on the 21st of April. Now what I did realise was that I had an issue with the horn, and so the steering wheel's off with the cluster assembly, and it's all repaired now. I didn't video that because it's just a simple fix, really. When I say simple, you might be able to see on there's a very thin blue wire, and right underneath where the purple wire connected to the stalk, that's connected to a plastic fitting on the end, there's quite an acute bend on it, and the wiring had actually dried out and eventually snapped, and so that stopped the horn from working. And when you take this thing apart, you have to be very careful. There's two bolts there, top and bottom, to get that plastic assembly off. Not the two on the right, but the two in the middle there. And when you take it off, you have a little copper cylindrical piece with three springs with plastic cap ends on, and one plastic insert. I should have videoed it, really, because it really is. If you're not careful, the whole thing springs off, and you don't know where everything went. And trying to find that information online is like the proverbial rocking horse waste. But I buzzed all this out, and it's working. And incidentally, if I show the connector end, on the end of the connector you will have there's two purples. There's a third purple, not this one up here, but the two purples actually give the between the two, you can see on the wiring diagram which one it is, and that now creates the circuit. So I'm just about to put it back on, and I will plug it in and give it a test. And whilst I'm here, I should also test the indicators again, just to make sure nothing has gone untoward. And so I'll just carry on from there. Now I could put you down, I suppose, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slot this onto here, make sure that is in the right position. I've got to get the cables in behind the two mounting brackets, and it's just a matter of just press that in underneath the back there, just so that they will pass the ignition, and that's it. That's pretty much where it's going to sit before you put the steering wheel back on, which is sitting there actually. And yeah, it looks that looks okay. So what I shall do is I shall connect up the wiring, and we'll give it a test. So 2 minutes. So with the two loom connections back on, I've got to turn the ignition on, otherwise there we are. So I've got the ignition light on. I'm not going to start the car, and first off, let's see if it works. There we are. There. And you can remove this end piece, it's just snapped in, and watch it very careful again. You have a spring inside here, and the two connections are two little prong connections, and there's a metal ring inside here, so when you push that in, it makes the circuit. So yeah, that's the first thing I checked, and it was open circuit at this end, and obviously I could measure that from the plug also. And yeah, so indicator, oh hang on, this one-handed, that's the right indicator. As you can see, the green light's flashing on the dash, and I can actually see it working outside with the reflection on the wall, and turning left signal. Excellent. And let's try the lights. That's a pull forward to flash, and you see the beam light flashing as I pull forward, so that's functioning. Let the lights go back down again on their own. You can hear the relays going, and I can turn the lights on. Up they come, and then just try flashing the beam. You might be able to see the blue light come on. And there we are. That is it in a nutshell. And again, to remove the indicator stalk, you need to take off these two bolts here, but you must be very wary to keep that in position. And when you lift, and as you can see, you have to actually retract this plate here out that way, and it's when everything inside falls out. So I do have a spare somewhere, which is it's got some missing parts on it. I might actually do a follow-up video as to where all these parts go, because if you do attempt to fix one of these and pull it out, it's a bit of a minefield where everything is supposed to go and it's not exactly obvious. So I will do that video, and I hope this helps somebody in the future. And it's just one of these things that we contend with. I mean, I'm expecting a lot more problems as the years go on with the wiring, because it's aged, and that piece of wire that I took out was completely solid. It's almost like the plastic had actually outgassed of all its, the chemicals therein that made up that rubber, and it was just like a solid piece of rubber, and no wonder it snapped. And so I've got a few tie wraps on the end of the loom and on the back of here, just to take off some sort of strain relief. And but we'll see. And yes, I did test that's the washer, and I've got, I won't do I know the windscreen wipers are working. I've just got something on the dash there. I don't want it to know, but it's all functioning, and happy days. I'll get it all back together again, and catch you on another one soon. Thank you very much, and goodbye.